Good morning. Good morning to Facebook. And my name is Ruth Benny. I'm founder of Top Schools. And welcome to this live with ML Kingsley School in Kingsley International School in Malaysia, Maple Leaf Kingsley International School. Welcome to my guests, Miss Priya, Miss Catherine, and Miss Josephine. Good morning, ladies.
Morning. Good morning.
So it's a holiday for us here in Hong Kong. So hello to the parents there that hopefully you have a day off and happy Qing Ming. But for you in Kuala Lumpur, it's business as usual, and I expect you have a busy day at school. So we're excited to learn a bit more about this school. So maybe I could ask each of you just very briefly to give a little overview, because I know you're representing different sections of the school, and why we're introducing the school to a Hong Kong audience as well. Shall we begin with who would like to go first? Miss Priya?
Yeah, sure. Hi, parents. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am Priya. I am the secondary principal of Maple Leaf Kingsley International School. I have been working here for 12 years. Ms. Josephine, over to you.
Hi, I'm Josephine, and I am the primary principal of Kingsley International School. Welcome to these live shows, and I have been with the school for 10 years.
Catherine, I think you're muted.
Oh.
Catherine? Yep.
Yes, sorry. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Catherine from the Kingsley admission team. Okay, welcome all to this webinar.
Okay, thanks. So parents, if you have any questions at any point during the live, we'll get to them. And if you're watching on the recording, just type your comments. We'll also get to your questions. So I know that you have a few Hong Kong students, and particularly in the last few years, more and more Hong Kong families have been looking to your school. So maybe Josephine, we would start with the younger children in the primary section. You know, can you tell us a little bit about those families, why they're choosing the school, and what you're able to deliver for them?
Most of my Hong Kong students, they are in the boarding. First of all, they come here because of the boarding that the service that we have, and parents, of course, have seen the boarding, and they have did a tour, and also they are very happy with the security in Kingsley. That's why they put their students. They are very confident to put their children with us and leave them with the boarding. Yeah.
So what age does the boarding start, Josephine?
Age 11.
So that would be year 6.
Year 6. But we do some exceptional for year 5, who are 10 years old, to put in boarding too. And we will have special instructions for the warden to keep an extra eye on them.
Okay, so year 5 minimum. How many children do you have boarding in year 5?
Currently, I think we only have like 2 or 3. Not many.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe their siblings?
Yes, the siblings. Yes, their siblings is in secondary. So yeah.
Right. So we've discussed before that the school provides boarding from year 6. Now we know that many of our parents are interested in boarding, and we work with a lot of schools in the UK, for example, which is a very obvious destination for our Hong Kong families. My children are boarding. I'm a big fan of boarding. So why don't we look at that? And I think that parents are also concerned about the pastoral environment, sending your children away, although Malaysia is not as far away as a lot of places that they might be considering. So there's definitely a benefit in having them a little bit closer to home. So tell us a bit more about the boarding, and maybe Miss Priya, you want to jump in here as well, because your secondary students are boarding more.
I would say that.
Sorry, Ms. Josephine.
Sorry, Priya. But I would say that the boarding, they are very structured in a way that students are like they have a timetable for the students, which is a good thing because it helps them to be independent. That is, I think, the ultimate aim for a lot of parents, that they want them to be independent. So even not only for foreign students, even for local students, some of them, I think a lot of them actually put them in boarding, especially the secondary students, because of they want them to be independent. As you know that in Malaysia, a lot of households, they do have maids. So, but in boarding, they will have to do everything by themselves. So there will be a timetable for them to follow very strictly, like what time to wake up, what time to go to school. When they come back, activities will be planned by the warden, and also they will have like at the end, after dinner, they will also have a prep time, if I'm not wrong, Miss Priya. And then
Yes.
maybe Priya can continue with the prep time there.
Well, to be honest, boarding school here in Maple Leaf Kingsley International School equips the students with a conducive living space, countless facilities, and we have, wonderful transportation facilities for the students, whereby we bring them out for their, shopping, and we just don't want them to be just in the room or in the school vicinity. For secondary children, they are growing adults. They want their freedom. They want to walk around. So we even provide them, to bring them out from the boarding as well. They're also given prep time, like what Ms. Josephine said. We have teachers staying with the students there in the boarding. Hence, their prep time where students get to, do their homework or do their projects with their teachers, and they have an added advantage. They can even use the library after schooling hours. The computer labs, the science labs are all open to our boarding students, so they get to do more learning. And apart from that, they have, like what I mentioned just now, they have time for them for other activities like games, gym. They even have access to a swimming pool. So it's very flexible there in the boarding for the children.
I want to break down some of the language, because we're using some terminology that is particular maybe to boarding schools. I want to understand your warden. What is the role of the warden? I haven't heard this term before in a boarding school.
The warden is practically a parent to the children who are staying in the boarding.
Would it be housemaster or housemistress?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Yes, housemaster. We call them wardens. Yeah.
Okay, why do you call them wardens?
That's a term we've been using because they are boarding students. So just like, they are parents to the children.
Okay, and then the prep time, just want to make sure that parents understand this is the homework time that's scheduled
Only homework, is a time where they can meet the teachers if they want to clear some of their doubts.
Tutors, yeah. And so are there tutors in the house to help the children?
Yes.
Particular subject tutors or house tutors? How does it work?
We do have teachers who are staying in the boarding. They are teachers who stay back and provide remedial classes for our boarding students. Since they are there in the boarding, hence extra remedial classes are provided for the children.
Right, so there's no end to the amount of support, and parents don't need to be the ones to be wrangling with their children to try to get their homework done.
Yes, even during the MCO period, teachers came down to have one-to-one lessons with the children. And
the MCO period for our Hong Kong parents, it was the period when the schools were closed.
Oh.
What was the MCO period?
We conducted online classes for the children, and since the children are in the boarding, they were all cocooned up, and we really pitied them. Hence, teachers had to come back to school and provide classes for the children. It's during the pandemic period.
So what was MCO? What does that mean? MCO.
MCO, it stood for...
It was during the COVID, right?
It was during the COVID. It was during the lockdown.
And so your boarding students were locked in school. They were stuck in school, and you were able to accommodate them in school. You didn't send them home?
No. We didn't want to send them home because back home the number of cases were rising tremendously. Hence, we kept them here because we know it was safe. It was like a safe bubble for the children, and we accommodate by providing teachers coming over to give them lessons.
Oh, amazing! All right, because I know in the UK a lot of the we won't talk about that. I mean, hopefully we're all done with that now. So all schools are open.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
and
physically. Yes. Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, boarding school has a certain structure. I think this is a word that will, we will mention this word a number of times. And, for parents who, I mean, are there any sorts of students that boarding particularly suits? I mean, this is a question I get asked a lot. And I have my own answers, but, you must meet so many different types of children, those that are already fairly independent, those who are perhaps definitely not. And, how do you accommodate all different types of students into a boarding environment?
You see, each floor have specific wardens or house masters and mistress. They take care of X number of students. It's not all students to one housemaster or one head warden. Each floor have respective head wardens and headmasters. They take care of the children. Like what you mentioned just now, it's extremely structured. There is time for them to hand in their electronic devices, time for them for play, time for prep, time for meal. So it's very structured and disciplined.
Yeah.
And also from my understanding that actually the students, they have like twin sharing. When it's twin sharing, normally the housemaster will actually pair them up with like somebody who is more independent or more able with less able students, so that that they will peer learn from each other.
So twin sharing would be some sort of buddy system, is it?
Yes. It's a buddy system, so that that they will be not lost.
Yeah, I just do.
Just like that.
And then when you receive a student, is there any matching in terms of, like, I assume different houses have different wardens, and they might have their own sort of personality to a certain extent. Do you do any matching with individual students to the houses, or is it?
We do. You do. The wardens will assess, we will assess, and even parents will even share with us the strengths and weaknesses of the child, and then we will know how to mix and match the students in a room. We are very particular in that, actually. Yeah.
Yes. I often say to parents, when they're choosing a boarding school, they're choosing the school, but more than that, they're choosing the house.
Yes, they're choosing
because each of the houses and the wardens, and it's a micro community within a community.
Correct.
So, interesting. So let's talk a little bit more about curriculum. Again, we're going to stick with this word structure, but it's definitely very balanced as well. So for the curriculum, let's go back down to the younger learners and let's talk to Josephine from primary school. So just tell us a little bit about the curriculum that you're using and how you implement that.
Okay, we follow the Cambridge syllabus very strictly because we are following the British curriculum. So from EYD all the way to year 6, actually to A levels, we do follow Cambridge, and we cover all the subjects that is required by Cambridge, and also we update the parents on whatever. So beginning of the term, every beginning of the term, the SOW, the scheme of work, will be sent back to the parents to let them know that what will be taught for that term. Okay, and after that, weekly, we will send an update to all the parents, like what has been taught to their children. And besides that, we also send the homework list 1 week in advance to all the parents to make sure that they know and aware of what homework will be assigned the week after, so that they will not miss out any homework. So when the kids come back, the parents already know on Tuesday what homework they have from what page to what page. So the parents will not be like, suddenly, found out that their child has a homework at 12 midnight, and the work will not be done, things like that. Because the last time we do get that, but we try to improve, the way of our communication with parents. And of course, we also have a portal that is called the Parents Teacher Portal with the parents' email, whichever the parents prefer. And also some of us, we also use our WhatsApp group to communicate with parents. So if parents have any queries, they will email us, the teachers, myself, or text, and then we will get back to them immediately or the day in the morning itself, to let them know what happened. Or sometimes they just call directly to us, and we will just explain to them. Yeah.
So again, a number of parents often they wonder what their children are doing in school every day. And some schools and some systems, there's a lack of information really flowing back and forth between the school and the parents. So what you're saying is that it sounds like there's a lot of detailed information that parents can access about what their children are doing in school.
Definitely, yes, definitely, because we want to be very clear with the parents that these are the things that we are doing in school, and beside that, because of the online classes that we used to have, we still have a Google Classroom with all the students, and parents are invited into it. So all the teaching, whatever worksheets and materials will be uploaded in the Google Classroom, so parents can have access to the daily lessons in the Google Classroom itself.
Right. Yeah. Is there a point at which you try to wean the parents off of that and suggest that the parents don't access the Google Classroom and don't need as much information about what their children are doing in school? Would that be when they enter secondary?
Well, no, I wouldn't say so. There are still some parents who are very inquisitive to know what the child is accessing, what are they studying, or if they are unable to come to school, what they have missed. So there are still a handful of parents who are still, concerned on what the child has missed or lost or studying.
So it's there if they want it, but maybe at a certain point you're not actively encouraging the parents to be checking every day.
No, we highly encourage. Whether they check or don't check, we will upload, we will send the homework detail, we will give you the weekly feedback. Everything is ongoing. Whether my parents check or not, I will provide all the details to the parents.
Sure. So the Cambridge curriculum is obviously a very tried, tested and proven structured programme, from the UK. In secondary then, Miss Priya, then they take the IGCSEs and A-levels.
Correct. They sit for their checkpoint examination in year 9, IGCSE in year 11, and they do the AS and A-levels with us, yes. And all the Cambridge program.
Okay. Now, this is Hong Kong, this is Asia, Malaysia. Parents want to know about grades. So just briefly, and we know that there's so much more to a school than their grades. But let's just cover that off. How many subjects do children generally take for IGCSE and for A-levels, and what are your grades looking like?
For IGCSE, children take 9 subjects. For A-levels, minimum 3, maximum as much as they want, right? And our grades, we have been getting A's and A stars. We've got quite a number of students who got top in the world for a few subjects. For example, environmental management, Mandarin, mathematics, combined science. Quite a number of them have got top in the world. Percentages, I should say 100% passes for all subjects.
Yeah. And what are the destinations for university, just roughly?
Oh, they go all around the world. We have students who are in the UK, Canada, Australia, China. Yeah, so they go all around the world because, as you know, the Cambridge program is accepted all around the world. IGCSE and
I think parents are often confused about curriculum choice, in my experience. Do you have children who are transitioning from different programs, say they're coming from an IB program or they're coming from US or Canadian? Can you tell us a little bit about how you accommodate children entering a secondary school that haven't done the Cambridge curriculum up to that point?
Well, for those students who come from various backgrounds, we will usually have extra classes for them after schooling hours for them to catch up on the curriculum or the subject or the topics that they've missed. So for them to be adjusted. Now, on top of that, as what Ms. Josephine mentioned just now, we have Google Classroom. So all notes, all slides, all the details of the lessons are uploaded. So when students join us from various backgrounds, we provide all that details for them. Number 3. When they come in between, resource packs, books, all the materials are provided to them so that they are able to catch up, not only by themselves, with the assistance of the teachers.
So you're saying catch up in the sense that whatever they've been doing before, maybe they're not quite up to the standard? Is that your experience?
Not up to the requirement of the Cambridge program. So hence we will tailor make or make sure it matches with
Right.
requirements.
So maybe just a little bit of difference whenever children are transitioning from one
Yes.
program to another.
Correct.
Do you try to identify those differences at the entrance point? So what entrance tests do you administer that might give you a little bit of insight into that before you accept the children?
We provide them with a Cambridge placement test. So with that, we know where they stand and we assist them from that.
Right. Okay, we've talked a bit about boarding. We don't have time to talk about everything. We've talked a bit about boarding, a little bit about the curriculum. I want to talk a bit more about everything else, because we know that a school is so much more, and especially when they're boarding, it is their home away from home. There's a community. So, what are all sort of different complementary activities that children can get involved in your school?
I will start a little bit. Yeah, we have 40 different extracurricular activities.
40? 40.
Yeah, 40 extracurricular activities for the children to choose from. So secondary students, being secondary students, we are giving them the choice. They can choose any activity of their choice. Now, on top of that, we also provide after-school activities for the children. So if they are not happy of having just 1 hour of ECA, they can also have an additional hour after schooling hours as well. So 40 different activities: horse riding, swimming, you name it, we have it all. Cup stacking, 3D printing, we have it all for the children here.
And are some of those, are they at extra cost, or are they included in the school fees?
It's for the extracurricular activity is within the school fees, within the fee structure. After school activities incurs additional cost.
Okay. What about for the boarding students? Like, what's the weekend program look like? And how many holidays do you have where they are required to leave the school?
Oh, for weekend programs, as I mentioned earlier, we take them out. We take them to Langkawi, we take them to Penang, Malacca, we take them for outdoor trips. We also take them for shopping trips, KLCC, Mid Valley Mega Mall. We take them for all those different kinds of trips.
Okay, so presumably not every weekend they're not going.
No, it's usually for
they need
the term break. Yeah, term break, we go for these outdoor activities.
So are you saying that you're not going to let like 15-year-old boys just stay in bed all day on the weekend? Not allowed, right?
No,
I'm
not
sorry.
allowed.
They have various activities to conduct throughout the weekend. Yeah, we have a lot of interesting activities. So we push them out from their rooms so that they participate, get themselves active.
Yeah. At what age are the children allowed to go out of the school on their own, unaccompanied, or do you not allow that?
If they want to go out alone, we do not allow. If they want to go out with a family member or maybe their guardian over here, the parent or the guardian have to send us email 3 days prior to the date they have to leave. So only upon giving the green light from me and the head of warden, the students will be allowed. And we collect very comprehensive detail, the car plate number, duration, what time they'll be back, who is sending them back home. So all that details must be filled in. That is like a template for them to fill in that goes back and forth between the warden and the parent.
So when do children get downtime? Because, it is about, we talked about structure and balance. So, where is their free, genuinely free time built into the structure of the day?
Well, they do have in-between times, like when they come back from school, they do have time for themselves. During dinner time, they have time for themselves.
After prep time,
After prep time, they have time for themselves. Yeah.
Okay. I think we are running out of time. We should talk a little bit about the Chinese program, which is important to almost all of the Hong Kong parents that we meet. So should we talk to Josephine, like from primary age? How does your Chinese program look in the school day?
The Chinese program?
Yes.
You mean the Chinese language?
Yes, the
Mandarin?
Chinese learning. Yes.
We do have Mandarin classes 3 times per week.
Okay.
So So that means like 3 periods. Each period is 40 minutes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
for the students, like, I don't know if you've got students from Hong Kong whose Mandarin might be rather advanced or at least intermediate.
Yeah,
then...
there will be 3 levels. There will be beginners, intermediates, and advanced. And also, it's not compulsory that you need to take the Mandarin classes, because you can choose between Mandarin or Spanish. For the year 1, 2, and 3, you can choose between Mandarin or French.
Okay. Would you ever have the children take their Mandarin IGCSE a bit early to sort of have one in the back pocket?
For Mandarin, when they come to secondary, they have beginners, conversational, first language Chinese, foreign language Chinese, and they have basic and advanced, whereby they can take it through HSK examination. So all these papers are under IGCSE.
And you would support the HSK exam, the tutoring?
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, interesting. We have covered quite a lot in a rather short amount of time. I want to go to Catherine to talk about the admissions. So, Catherine, just quickly, could you tell us a little bit about the interest that you have from Hong Kong? What are the questions that the Hong Kong parents will ask you?
Okay. Basically, for Hong Kong parents, actually, a few concerns they have will be the safety of the school environment. Okay, knowing that most of the children are a bit young from kindergarten, primary. Okay, so basically, it's here we do give the information to the parents. Our school, since the child they are young when they are joined Kingsley, we were well taking care of their safety. Okay, as well as their learning progress in the school. Okay, so students actually like from Hong Kong, maybe some of them, the English is not so strong in the first year. We do provide a lot of English class for them. Okay,
right.
And then
I think because Hong Kong is because Hong Kong is so safe, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So safety, very, very important. So English as a second language, if the students are coming from a Hong Kong Chinese medium, Cantonese medium school, then you do provide the ESL for them.
Yes, we do. We provide ESL as young from kindergarten all the way from.
What if the children have minimal English language? Is that a problem for admissions, or are you happy to take them? No problem.
Yeah, it's no problem. Maybe Mr. Sophie, can share?
Yes, because we have an English enhancement program. After schooling hours, we have this enhancement program for students who come with minimal English.
And is there a certain age, like would you accept a child into year 9, for example, with minimal English, or would you consider that to be possibly detrimental to their GCSE?
We will accept the child. But we will support the child with extra classes, remedial classes, as well as the EEP program that I mentioned just now. We will accept.
Right.
Yep.
So if they're up for a challenge and if they're willing to put in the work, you have everything to support them
Exactly.
to achieve.
Exactly. Yes.
It's about seeing the potential in a child, right? And I feel that at, say, year 9, just as an example, it's about the children being intrinsically motivated to want to do their very best by the time they're that age, right?
Children at that age, they are, of a different mindset. So I can't just reject a child just because his English is not good. I should be able to tap into his strength and work around that to help the child to prosper in other subjects or other areas. That is our goal here.
Absolutely, yeah. So we should just finish. We're talking about admissions. So we want to mention the affordable fees. So we couldn't find them on the website. So if anyone's interested, the fees are, what would we say? We would say very affordable compared to Hong Kong. What are your secondary fees, Ms. Priya, for the top year group, year 13?
Okay.
Yeah,
you want to share?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Let me just do the sharing of the fee structure. All right.
Perfect.
Overall, Kingsley school fees is very reasonable, starting from early years. All right. So average about yearly fees is about ringgit Malaysia 20,000 for early years. Then primary is around 30,000, and secondary is around 40 to 43,000 in yearly fees.
Wow.
So the parents have a choice to pay by termly basis.
So, Catherine, for boarding for year 13, for example, including the boarding, what is that?
Okay, boarding fees yearly. If student going for twin sharing, it costs about 26,000 in a year. Twin sharing room, yearly boarding fees.
And that's on top of the tuition fees or including?
This on top of the school fees. So say about for the students, say about secondary, we mentioned maybe student in year 9, all right?
Yeah.
So the school fees is about 40,000 for a year, adding with the boarding fees for 1 year about 26. So it costs about around 60,000 for a 1 year expenses, school fees including the boarding fees.
Okay, so that's about 107,000 Hong Kong dollars for the year. According to Google. Yeah, so that's very affordable. So if parents would like to get involved and to contact you, we'll put all of the links below. And so, Catherine, you will be their first point of contact in the admissions department.
Yes, true. Yeah. We
and
have the
if we have any...
Correct.
Sorry?
So let me just brief on our admission team. We have an admission team to handle the local Malaysian as well as the international families. So those families that are interested from Hong Kong, they want to inquire more about the schools, they can always drop their emails, contact number to top school. Then from there, my admission team will take over to follow up and provide them whatever necessary information. And then for the enrollment, the next academic year will be in coming September 2022. So the enrollment is ongoing.
Okay. We have a question in the comments. So maybe Ryan, could you somehow... from safety of each student is very important. How can we ensure that our child is safe from bullying? Thank you for mentioning. So your school is one of the key messages is anti-bullying, right? This is the title of the webinar. Who could answer that for me?
I can answer.
Yes.
Josephine?
We in Kingsley take bully cases very seriously, but we tried our best. I would not say that we have 0 bully cases, because bully cases is everywhere. It's everywhere. So, but we take it very seriously. If we were to know that there is any bully cases, we will surely investigate by talking to the children, checking the CCTV, to the teachers, and then we will also, of course, we will communicate with the parents, and we will also have reflection. Action will be taken. We do not do punishment here because we felt that punishment is not a way to teach our children to know or to realize what they did was wrong. So we actually have reflections. Reflections means we let them mop the floor. So if you come and visit our school, you will see that at the corridor there's a lot of pails and mops where the students will be mopping 50 meters, 100 meters, and their pictures will be up at a board. Okay, of course their face will not be shown, but from the back, so that they know. After that, the pastoral care will actually talk to them again and to make sure that they know why they are mopping the floor. So this is a way to actually educate a healthy mindset for the young people, and because we know that bullying is very, very serious in the whole world and it kills. So we must make sure that they are educated from a young age all the way to secondary, that being mean, it's not cool. So you have consequences, and yes, and they must realize it now.
And our children's mental health is extremely important to all of us.
Of course, goes without saying, right? As parents, that's something, and especially from the last few years, it is interesting. Obviously, all schools will have an element of bullying. All schools, teenagers get up to all sorts of things. It's about how the school handles an incident, not that there won't be ever any incidents. So thank you for your answer. Thank you for your question, Javel. So with that, I think I will say thank you very much to my guests this morning, Miss Josephine, Miss Priya and Miss Catherine from Maple Leaf Kingsley International School in Malaysia. It's been really interesting. I would love to visit the school someday. If I'm in KL, I will be stopping by for sure. And thank you for watching live. If you have any questions or watching on the replay, by all means, pop them in the comments and we would definitely answer them. So that's all for now. We're signing out. I've been Ruth from Top Schools. Join us on our next Facebook Live tomorrow. Thank you and over and out. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.